Hello there, Hillary.
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
Hmm. I'm fine. I'm fine. Everything is fine.
And the more you say it, the more maybe you'll believe it.
Fine. Yeah.
Fireball will make it better.
Yeah. It just reminded me of a story I'm gonna tell you, but I'll wait.
Have you tried that apple fireball?
I haven't seen it.
Really
Well,
good.
I haven't even looked, but to try.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm drinking hot chocolate with peppermint rum chata, which
Mm.
I only have 2 more little bottles of, and I need to remember next year. People remind me next year when it's holiday season and go buy a big bottle of it.
Yeah. Okay. We will remind you. We are collectively taking notes.
Thank you. We are recording on Sunday, February 2nd. If you're listening, it is on or after February 5th. This is season 7, episode 5.
Yeah. It's February.
Thank God.
Well,
It feels like January.
not that it's going to be any better, but
No.
at least we got to. Oh, I got to change my YouTube calendar month. I want to tell you something that brought me joy the other day.
Okay.
That
I always want to hear that.
I know the fireball bringing joy reminded me. I had just a pretty crappy morning. Just it was gray. My head was hurting. I was tired. The world's on fire. You know these things. I'm running late for the gym. I decided to go later. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get myself some Starbucks. And they have this new. It's new to me. Cortado. It's the 3 shots.
Yeah.
Of espresso. I call it an espresso latte. And I get 1 little pump of brown sugar syrup in it. So good. And it's raining, and I'm like, and I run in Starbucks. Everyone here is having a good day. It's fine. And when the lady's like, how are you? And I'm like, grab my coffee. I'm about to be a whole lot better. And she was like, yeah. And I noticed much later that my coffee said, it said Queen of Coffee on it. It made me really happy.
Oh.
And that made me really happy. But also, I was driving and Marco Poloing. I know it's probably illegal. So I was driving Marco Poloing and I hung up with my friends. And then I went through this stoplight. I was green for me. And on the red side was a Barbie pink Cybertruck. Oh my God. I
wrong.
freaked out. And I got back on Marco Polo. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You're driving with me. I got to go back around to this light. I got to show you this Cybertruck. And I did. It was still the light when I got there. Oh my! I'm gonna have to send you a little screenshot of it.
Yeah, oh my God!
I mean, if you were going to be so bold and idiotic to get a Cybertruck, go for it.
Well, the thing I think about is how much self-hatred do you have to have a pink Cybertruck?
Oh, I think they're probably Mary Kay person or something. They're probably
take my
rights. I assume it's a lady, which
that's what I'm saying. Take my rights and give me this garbage can, this dumpster of a car.
Anyway, it brought me the idioticness of it brought me so much joy. And also, I can honestly say it's the best looking Cybertruck I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I liked it, but the black ones look like Batman's like, give me a first go at the Batmobile.
Oh,
nope.
Yeah.
Nope. And then the silver ones look literally like trash cans.
They look like dumpsters.
And they're like stuffed up in dirt, like
because you have to like polish them. They're like
that look like a matte paint. And you would have loved the color.
Can you imagine how much that must have cost?
No, I absolutely cannot. I don't know how much they cost anyway.
I don't know either, but I know they're all that silver color. Yeah. So if you have a different color, you have to have it.
Yeah, I've only seen black. Oh, I might have seen a gray one once. I don't know, but it has to be custom.
Silver.
My husband said there's a Tesla lot like 20, 30 minutes that way. And he says I was like, where do you even buy a Cybertruck? I mean, Cyber online.
Yeah.
But he said he's seen them in the lot at the Tesla.
Well, I think Will took Max to a lot to see one because he was like obsessed with them. He's also 9, so
yeah, they look like something out of a movie
Yeah.
from the 80s.
Yeah. And it's what people thought in the 80s that 2025 would look like.
Right?
Yeah. I said the first time I've said that a lot, but the first time I said it, I was in Toronto and I'm like, this is what people in the 50s thought that the 2000s would look like.
Right?
And I was real like Garden Tart Amanda and guest Steve. Really, like I was really, and I just said it because I just blab stuff all the time. But they were like,
Yeah.
"Huh?" I'm like, yeah, that's how I see things. Apparently, that
Yeah.
they saw it in the 50s. Well, I have two funny stories. One I've been meaning to tell for a while, and I kept forgetting. But one yesterday, I was driving home. Was it yesterday? Whatever. Yes, I was driving home from running errands, and I get like a couple blocks away from my house, and I turn my head, and this car has one of the It Clown heads, but he put it over the passenger side headrest. So when you're driving along and you turn your head, it's looking right at you.
Oh, shit.
I loved it. I laughed and laughed. And then that guy cut me off. I'm like,
Oh,
that wasn't nice because he made me happy.
yeah.
Just laughing at you. Then, and I don't think I've mentioned this on the pod, but I've mentioned it to Jenny and I think on all my social medias, but I was in Trader Joe's like a month ago, and my mom said to get challah bread. And I'm like, okay. And so I don't know where it is. I don't see any, so I assume it might be somewhere else because I didn't see any with the regular bread. So I asked the lady, I'm like, do you have any challah bread? And she was like, it's pronounced challah.
Holla.
Okay. Do you have any? And she didn't have any. But
So
man,
nice of her to correct you.
I didn't need her to mansplain how to pronounce a
I hate
word I know how to pronounce, and you do not. Pronounce challah.
it.
Like when in Hebrew, Joseph is Yosef. So I'm like, it's Trader Yosef.
Right?
You're pronouncing it wrong. So
Annoying. Why would you even correct someone like that? That's just ridiculous. I have a grocery store story,
okay.
and I've been meaning to tell you this on the pod for the longest time. Well, since around Christmas. I was at the grocery store, and in like the meat section, they have bags like they do in produce. You can put your meat in a plastic bag. And I'm like, I'm like, this friggin' roll isn't perforated. I'm like, I just roll it back up, whatever, and I go over and get a bag from somewhere else. And I turn around and there's a lady like trying to do it, and I'm like, it's broken. Like, she's like, oh my God. She's like, I thought I was going crazy. I couldn't find the perforation. So we had a moment. Like a week later, I was at a cookie exchange party for the holidays. And I walk up to a friend who's talking to someone else, and friend introduces me to this lady. And she's like, this is going to sound strange, but did you have trouble with the bags at the meat counter? She's like, I'm the one you told them that it was broke.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, oh my God, what a small world, my little bubble of
Yeah.
Northeast Ohio. Anyway, it was a funny way to meet someone. Were you to meet? I thought that was so.
Me? With the fucking meat bag.
Yeah, I never thought I'd see her again. I didn't recognize her. I never would have.
Yeah.
I didn't like process her face in the
Right.
grocery store.
Well, I went to last week I went to my local distillery by myself because I'm like, I know I'll talk to the bartenders or someone will be there. And there were these people that were sitting like at the bar, like a couple seats down from me. And I don't know how it came up, but my purse fell. And like she picked up my purse.
Oh, that's nice.
We started talking and we realized that we both grew up here. We went to different high schools, but I was supposed to go to the high school she went to. I didn't. So we're like, we must have so many mutual friends. So we
Yeah.
like friend each other and we pull it up, and we only had one mutual friend, and that's our friend Jim in Nashville.
It
I
is.
don't know. I'm like, why wouldn't we have like many
Right.
same friends? I don't.
Because I'm sure you and Jim have many.
Yeah, I like Jim's got
Right.
to be one of my most mutual friends.
Right. So weird.
Really weird.
I know
Anyway, we're friends now, so yeah.
my fireball's empty already.
I'm sorry. I've got like a cabinet full of it.
I mean, I have these things down here.
Can't find. I got a new bottle of Screwball, and I don't know where it is.
Oh no.
Table, and then it vanished.
Okay. What do we got to talk about? Do we get any U2 stuff?
We do have U2 stuff. The U2s gave $1 million to help the fires in Los Angeles.
Yes. That was in some news about fire aid. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
really awesome.
And makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's literally the Edges community. So,
Absolutely. And bombers for all we know.
right.
But we don't know.
But it's nice. I don't know. I'm glad to have that publicly known.
Yeah.
Especially since I didn't have any kind of performance or anything.
Right.
And that's something that is up their alley.
Yeah. Very much so. So what else do I have? I have 2 questions.
Okay.
And I've thought about this for a really long time, but
Well, I remember one of them. Yeah. Okay.
one of them is light and the other's not. But if you were to walk into a local restaurant, like right now, and you saw Bono sitting at a table eating, what would you do?
Like one of my local restaurants.
Yes.
Like here in Little Shaker Heights, Ohio.
Anywhere in the world. But let's just say in
Well,
Shaker
I must say here, this is my turf.
right?
I kind of feel like everywhere else, even like downtown Cleveland, I feel like he's got some free reign there.
Yeah.
But this is my
space. That's your space.
yeah. I don't know. I'd like to think I'd have the courage to be like, dude, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would say anything.
I would,
But I do.
I
I'm
know.
gonna be pretty ballsy about it here.
Yeah.
If he was in one of my restaurants that I go to all the time, I might be like, it's not fair.
Yeah. Well, if he showed up at my local, I would go in the back and beat Kip with a frying pan for not immediately me he was there. I have to tell Kip this actually.
Yeah.
And but I think what I would do would be like, firstly, to make sure that I was sitting in his eye line, which I never do, but I would hope that I could do that. And then I would do like our until I caught his attention.
That's excessive creepy waving. People watch my video.
And then I would get the wait staff person, the server. I would say, can you please send a bottle of your cheapest wine to that table? Say it's from me. Because I don't have any money.
Fantastic.
I don't know. This came to me. I was driving, and all of a sudden I was like, that would be an interesting, what would you do?
I love that. You asked me that, and you're like, just I'm going to ask you this on the pod. And I went, I froze.
I only asked because I already knew what my answer was.
I know.
Yeah. Then I have a heavy one.
Okay, I'm scared.
Yeah, this scared me, like thinking about it. But what would you do if all of a sudden you saw Bono walking across the lawn of the White House with Trump?
Probably throw up first.
I mean, he wouldn't. This is just,
It's not.
well, but we weren't happy with him walking across the lawn on at the White House with Bush either.
Yeah, and now I'd like invite Bush to dinner.
Love that. Wouldn't you agree at dinner?
I think he'd be great at dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I don't have the answer to that, but I would have to, it would be horrible.
it would be horrible. And yeah, I'd throw up and I'd cry, and then I'd probably throw up again while I was crying. And then, I mean, I would need every fucking bit of information
Yeah.
before coming to a conclusion. But and I just don't. It's like it's not possible.
It's not possible. But I feel like the right answer to that is how we have reacted to everyone else who is.
Who's not everyone else.
No, he's not. He's not. But
To us,
but Carrie Underwood is someone else's Bono.
Snoop Dogg.
I had this conversation. I went to an event a city event the other day to honor my uncle who passed away a couple of years ago. But we were sitting around and we were sitting with, it was honoring all the mayors of my city. And my uncle had been mayor of my city. So we're all sitting around, and the not current mayor, but the mayor, last mayor, was standing around talking with us. And somebody, or my dad mentioned he loves, since the Olympics and stuff, he loves Snoop Dogg. I've not mentioned, he didn't watch news, and I've not mentioned to him that Snoop had any involvement with Trump. And,
Snoop's been amazing. Like,
yeah,
Snoop's Olympics, everything. Martha Stewart. I don't know. Like,
yeah,
we love Snoop Dogg.
yeah. And so, and it was with my 3 cousins and my parents, and then this guy that was the former mayor. And we're all talking about it. And my dad was like, I love Snoop Dogg. And I'm like, ooh, Snoop Dogg took a hit this week. And everyone's like, ooh, yeah. And I'm like, you guys, we better end this conversation before the other mayors get here.
Yeah.
Because, well, actually, it was just 2 most of our mayors have been Democrat. But anyway, it was just funny because I'm like, you guys, shut up before Mayor whoever shows up.
Right.
And yeah, it was kind of funny because it was not like it was just a moment.
I like it. There was, I mean, in the Bono realm, I know that inauguration, Bill Gates is one of the people that went down to Mar-a-Lago to talk about, the funding for AIDS in Africa and all this stuff. And I was like, holy shit. But also I'm like, he's got to fight for his programs.
Right.
He's got to. But that has to be those people. I mean, I think the band would split up.
Oh, it would be career suicide.
Career suicide, the band wouldn't let him.
Mm-mm.
And I don't think, yeah.
He wouldn't do it. This is just, hypothetical speaking, but we couldn't be hypocritical about it.
But it's easy to diss other people and just push them aside when they haven't been ingrained in your life for decades.
Right.
I mean, it might as well be one of my friggin' parents.
Right.
Worse.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, that was a great questions. I'm just going to drink good thing and screwball right out of the. That's really got me.
I'm sorry, I had to ask it. I did see this thing. I think I did send it to you and Amanda, but it just, for some reason, it cracked me up. This meme.
Remember when I couldn't get this off the other day? No, we'll go back on.
I saw this meme and it says, why ain't nobody else last name Vandross but Luther and his daddy in them? And then, you ever met a Vandross? You never met a Vandross?
No, there's just the 2.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe Luther Vandross had some brothers or sisters or cousins, or I don't know. But I've never heard of any other ones.
Yeah, that made me giggle.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know. I just thought that was really funny. I like that. I feel like it's just like music humor that, like, I wouldn't have sent that to most of my friends.
No.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, usually there's some, I mean, there's, I don't know, now just because you mentioned Carrie Underwood, like, Underwood is that's a, I don't know anyone, but that's a lot. I get it.
Yeah.
There's other Underwoods in the world. I don't think there are any other Vandroses.
But I mean, are there other like Affleck?
Affleck.
Flat.
Um,
Or like
I
that?
mean, I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't know any.
know. I don't know, but somebody has to come up with these names, and I think they're born that way.
Yeah. I wanted to tell you about a comment we got on our last YouTube. Well, I sent you one of them, and
Okay.
it was a friend of ours, an avid listener watcher. And she said, I truly believe we are living in an extinction event. She's like, but the other one I did not send to you because I wanted to tell you it on here. And I got to bring it up. Hang on. And it's from someone, I don't know that this person cares about you two at all. But the comment is, I watched a video about Sharon Stone's sexuality and basic instinct, and this popped up next with like a smiley laughing face. Like, that's great. Apparently, we were in the next recommended.
Apparently, that's interesting because when you think about Sharon Stone's sexuality, don't think of the garden tarts.
No, but it was the next recommended video for this.
I guess I'm honored to be in.
It was nice of them to say. I thought it was silly that
Yeah.
it was Leona that said the other one. Leona, she's always commenting on our videos, and I really appreciate that. I said something to you the other day,
You did.
and I wanted to go back and with why I brought it up. Was it just to you?
It was just to me, and I found it. Oh,
Okay. I mean, I know what I said, but why did it come up?
I don't know. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Here, I found it.
I got it.
Okay.
So Hillary talked last week about how songs of experience kept popping up on her shuffle in the car. And she's like, it turns out I really needed to hear that right now. And I thought I literally don't remember last time I heard any of those songs. I decided to put it on, and it turns out it's such a great album. I mean, I will quickly tell you it's probably my second favorite YouTube album of all time without even remembering this track order. And I'm like, wait, this song? And here's what I said to you, because I don't understand about the songs, of Innocent songs, why they aren't on the like, they have their own fucking radio station. It is some, especially in the last decade or so, like, I mean, not that we've had anything since then, the best music they've ever written, and it's so fucking timely, and they're such a fucking good band by this point. You know, I mean, nothing will ever be with or without you or Pride. Like, I get it, right? But I don't know. Can't they choose what the new classics are?
I would think so.
Like, prop up your own songs, get them a bigger audience, and then play them live, and then people will want to keep hearing them live. I just don't understand why, but we don't hear the Blackout and Love is Bigger on the radio all the time. Always I Still Am I'm Looking For, which I love.
Always.
But like, you have your own radio station, and I listen to it a lot.
When I tell iTunes to play me U2, it's 100% either gonna start off with Beautiful Day or I Still Haven't Found. I'm like, but that's an algorithm for Apple. They have their own station, so you're really right about that.
Right. I've thought this for a long time. Like, especially well, I mean, Sphere was different because it was a different audience than the typical YouTube fan. It was all that Octum Baby, so they needed to get in all those big hits because, I mean, you give them So Cruel, you got to give them Beautiful Day. Like, you got to balance that out for people who don't know it. But, I mean, and it's like, on the songs, the experience, or like the fact that they rarely played Red Flag Day. Like, why? What? Why?
It's
What?
it's
I
my it's well, you know what? I can't pick a favorite track actually, but that was my number one when it came out. That was that and the Blackout were the standout tracks.
right. Well, in like Red Flag, there was a spot for it.
Right.
If you would put it in sometimes instead of like, was it Out of Control or something? There
No,
was
I
a spot with
on the no. Yeah, there was a spot.
that they would rotate.
Yeah.
I don't, yeah, I don't remember what it was, but they're literally touring this album.
Right.
This song is amazing. And I know there's probably other things, whether it's production or the band's ready to play it all the time or they enjoy playing it. I understand there's more things, but it really frustrates me.
Yeah. The only song I've ever heard people say would be a deal breaker, and it was a deal breaker, I guess. I mean, it really wasn't. But the song that upset people the most if when it wasn't played was Streets. And I feel like that the song I mean, and they did replace it. I mean they did, because they didn't do Josh Ridgway's songs on
They replaced it with like City of Blinding Lights.
yeah. But like that I get it. I get that that's a song that they really need to play. I mean, that's just, the iconic live U2 song. But like, I don't think anybody's gonna like leave a concert and say, man, they didn't play Out of Control or they didn't play. No one's gonna say, I'm really pissed off they didn't play Pride.
Right. Well, and it's like,
Various ways. Like, no one's gonna be upset by that.
right. And but it's also, unless you're a fan and you know what the set list is and you know what's coming up, would you walk out of that concert and be like, they only played Streets? That would have been okay. Like, no, I think you'd come out like, high on this great show.
Sure.
And maybe later be like, holy shit, did they play Streets?
Right.
I don't know. I just feel like they have so. I know nothing about the business. I know 0%, probably negative 0%, but I got a lot of opinions.
I
And
know.
that matters. And I just don't understand. They have all the power in the world when it comes to their music.
I think there was a question on that old at U2 questionnaire that came up all the time. Would you rather go up on stage or would you rather make the set list? And I'm like, oh my God, I would not want to go on stage. I just want to make the set list.
And I just want to go on stage.
Yeah.
So we can share. If I got to make the set list, I would freak out and call you.
Okay.
Because
if I got to go on stage, I would put you in my place.
Okay. I would need your help writing the set list, and I would give you almost complete control.
Thank you. I would not. No, but one of my proudest things ever is that I literally made an imaginary set list for E and I, and when they were in Europe, they listened or they didn't because I only shared it with like you and Amanda. But when they got to Europe, it was my set list, starting with the Blackout, and like they changed everything exactly to how I like set it up.
Exactly. And it wasn't just getting rid of the Love Is All We Have Left. There was some other tweaks too that were really specific.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that I would be really good at that.
Yeah. I think you'd be really good at it too.
Thank you. I think the fans would be happy. The band would be happy, I guess. I mean, unless they're playing these songs because they absolutely don't want to play them.
Right.
But I don't think so. I don't think they're sitting around saying, man, I'm not going to do this show if we can't perform Mysterious Ways.
Oh, that was me.
No one's crying over that. Literally not.
That's one of their favorite songs to play though. Whatever. And I understand there's a story, there's a lot, and you've got to have the ups and the downs. Like, there's a flow to it. You can't just do every song can't be Mofo and Blackout. I get it. Like, you probably got to choose one or the other.
Yeah.
But they're not using either of my piece.
I might make a set list this week. If they were going to go on tour today, what I would want on that set list. And
Not any new music.
they'd have to play for like, 7.5 hours.
Well, I mean,
You haven't had an album out in 9 years.
right?
You owe us a 7.5 hour show.
All we got is like Atomic City.
Yeah, I know. And then Songs of Surrender, which I don't consider any new music.
No, I don't. I mean, I understand time-wise they put that time, like, especially Bono and Edge put that time in, but I don't consider that a new.
So, okay, I have 2 more things.
Okay.
I shared this video with you and Amanda, and then promptly warned you not to watch it.
I still haven't watched it.
I know. I watched it and I cried, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this video, but don't watch it. Here it is, but don't watch it. But the performance at Obama's inaugural concert at the Lincoln Memorial, and that performance has to be, I mean, if they don't think it's their best performance ever, maybe not quality, but like,
Gotta be a highlight of their lives.
pride on the steps of the link. Oh my God. Like you wrote that song for that. Whether you knew it or not, that's why you wrote the song. And just,
I got chills.
Bono gives a shout, many shout outs to Obama, he said. Obama. And, and, and Joe Biden. And it gave me chills. It made me cry. It was just like, just to think about how optimistic we were then.
Yeah.
In 2009, and how it was just like we had the world in front of us, and they all looked really, the band looked really good. Obama looked so young.
Joe was like a baby.
Yeah. Well, no, he looked,
No, he still probably looked at least middle age.
Yeah. And but it was just it made me feel so good, and it just kind of made me think back about those years and that time. But like the other thing, it's adorable. Bono stands behind like a podium,
Mm-hmm.
and he's singing City of Blinding Lights, but he's like, behind the podium, and it's like,
I'll have to watch that again.
He's just such a good performer. If we haven't mentioned that before,
It really is.
but I don't know, that just, it melted my heart. Then tonight, YouTube posted a montage of their Grammy moments.
Oh yeah, I saw the post. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, just from everything to, Joshua Tree. I don't think they've won any Grammys since Hottest Man on an Atomic Bomb, but
Yeah.
I have notes about
Okay.
stuff.
I want to hear.
Okay, so you two have won 22 Grammys. It's the most by any group. Can you guess who number 2 is? I don't think you can, but
Of a group?
yeah, you've seen them. I wouldn't have guessed this though.
Foo Fighters.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
With 15, they have 15.
Okay.
The most,
Grabbing at straws there.
yeah, the most honored albums of all time. The number 2 most, it was tied, but the number 2 most honored album of all time is Hottest Man on an Atomic Bomb, and it tied with Genius Loves Company by Ray Charles, and wait for it, Thriller.
They're all number 2?
They're all number 2 with 8. They have, each one of those albums has 8 wins.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Tied with Thriller. Like, what the fuck? I mean, I love that album, but it's, I love that album.
Right, me too.
How you can, I mean, anyway, so the number 1 most honored album was Supernatural by Santana. I don't remember that.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So How to Smell an Atomic Bomb had 8 nominations, and All That You Can't Leave Behind had 9 nominations, which are like in the 20 of top album, maybe 10 of top albums.
It is amazing that All You Can't Leave Behind got so many nominations.
Yeah.
That was a big marketing push right there. It
Yeah.
was huge.
But so wait, what did I just so How to Smell an Atomic Bomb won every award it was nominated for.
All 8?
Yeah.
Wow, good job, guys.
Yeah. I don't really
Curious what it was up against.
It's a nice.
I'm not curious to look right now.
No, me neither. I just wanted some stats.
Yeah.
Yeah, but impressive.
Oh, very impressive.
I think I don't think they're even close on the all-time winner. Beyonce's like way up there.
I was in the car the other day with my 14-year-old and Destiny's Child came on the radio. And I was like, pop quiz. pop quiz. I was like, who's the lead singer of this band? And she just starts naming like every woman she's ever heard of. I'm like, she is as big and popular as Taylor Swift. Like, I put them on the same. I would hope the world puts them on the same. And she's like, Rihanna. And she's just naming all the people that are famous in her world, you know? There's a lot of them. And finally I was like, can I just tell you? And I was like, it's Beyonce. And she's like, I said Beyonce. I'm like, no, you didn't. Whatever. But she's like, how was I supposed to know that? I haven't listened to Beyonce in years. Blah, blah. I'm like, chill, child.
Yeah.
So I just want you to win this at Trivial Pursuit one night.
Right. Maybe this isn't a popular opinion, but I just found one more note. Sorry. Maybe this isn't a popular opinion, but I'm not a huge fan of Beyonce, and I think that most of it is because she just seems super entitled, and I feel like Rihanna, Taylor Swift, I feel like they're humble and they're like, you know, I'm so thankful for my position, you know, and I don't know, but I just don't get that vibe from Beyonce.
Yeah,
I get it from like Lady Gaga. I get it from a lot of people, but there's something I don't know.
Did you see her speak at that Kamala rally in Texas?
Yes, I did.
I thought that was great. Having spent very, very little time as a Black woman, I feel like she has to be that way. I wonder if she has to be.
You're probably right with that.
Well, she's going to get knocked down.
I feel like Rihanna's not like that.
I don't know anything about Rihanna except when she shows up in my car with my kids, singing stuff.
She just seems like she's the shit, but she's humble about it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. And maybe I'm like tainted because I don't like Jay-Z right now. I used to love him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that might be why I have I don't know.
I mean, I have a huge respect for Beyonce. I'm not a huge fan of hers just because I haven't.
Yeah.
I don't know her music. And I know a lot of it's been really outspoken and like revolutionary and, you know, Black roots and, you know, raging against the machine of her own sorts. And I'm not that audience.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing. It's just, yeah.
I agree. I would agree with that too. And I'm just going on like what I seem to perceive as personalities.
Yeah, I get that.
I know. I like Rihanna. I made a comment about something. Oh, about that video, the Saturday Night Live. Was it?
Right.
The Saturday Night Live music.
Oh, the Questlove one.
Yeah. If listeners, if you haven't seen it, you've got to see that. It's like watching your like life flash in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
But you were talking about in our text about nostalgia. And I had a moment the other day where 10,000 Maniacs shuffled up on my playlist. And I was like, God. And then I'm like, this just makes me feel like how I felt when I heard this song.
Yeah.
Really love this song. Like, it's just not my kind of music. That it's bad or anything. It wasn't my kind of music then. It's not now. But I heard it and it just brought back all the memories of the 90s.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it made me smile. And then I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like this song. It's not my. It's not.
Right. But it makes me
Yeah.
feel happy. I'm with
Right.
you on that.
Right. But nostalgia like really screws with your head.
It was you sent me John Mayer
Yeah. John Mayer, that was it.
from
Yeah.
Fire Aid, and you're like, I know that I forget exactly what you said, but I
Oh, he's
know
gross.
he's gross and creepy, but kind of still love him. And I'm like, nostalgia's a bitch.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he was huge for us
Yeah.
when we were young ladies.
But just I mean, I watched him. He did he covered Free Falling, which I had on like early iTunes. He did a cover of Free
Oh,
and I
him and Free Falling. Okay.
from way a long, long, long time ago, like my
Yeah.
first iPod or something. Close to it, if not. But he does that song so well, but it's just like his unique way of singing and it just brought back all these emotions.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Now, would I want to go into a hot tub he's been in? No. This was a story from a really long time ago because apparently,
I just had like a visceral reaction.
apparently, the like music kind of theatery place we have in Norfolk, Virginia, the Norva, they have this like legendary green room. Like, if you read, I can't remember, but you and Amanda have told me about bands that have mentioned this green room, and I don't know what. I've never been there.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, this is a
Never
while.
been in the green room, but the venue posted like a tweet saying, how John Mayer said that it was like his favorite green room, and the best part was like it had a hot tub. And I'm like, note to self, stay out of that hot tub. I maybe Twitter, I maybe replied to it and said that.
Yeah, I feel like you. Yeah, this was a while ago, but I
Well,
remember this.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, I remember going and seeing him at concert at the Pavilion. He came to the Rock Hall for we were having that MTV series,
I remember that very well.
and when before the shows, the bands would or an artist would MTV would get video of them touring the exhibits, and I was the person who usually did that tour, or I wasn't giving the tour. I was in charge of the media, the cameras and stuff, and it's unimpressive. I remember, I mean, was introduced to him, and it was like, wasn't he wasn't mean or rude or anything, just like a wet rag. Yes, but he left no impression.
Yeah,
Which, when you're someone like John Mayer, is a bad impression. I would
right.
say. Yeah,
I get that. I mean, I don't know him. I think he's a creep, but I liked hearing him sing at the Fire Age.
yeah, he sounded great. Yeah,
Yeah.
Canada, I'm sorry. Mexico, I'm sorry.
No, man,
China, I don't care so much, but we get a lot of stuff from you. So
I don't think China is interested in us whatsoever. They got their own shit going on, and it works.
yeah, it's true. And those tariffs are just gonna fuck us.
Yep.
But
I saw a political cartoon of Trump peeing into a fan, and the pee comes back at him. Right. That's a good
that is
one.
brilliant.
That person should win some political cartoon award.
Right.
Yeah, I'll have to send you that.
Please. Yeah. Like that visual seared in my brain. That'd be great.
If you're Canadian or Mexican and we go to war with you, if you don't mind taking me as a POW, I'll volunteer. Please take me away.
I'll go, but I come with baggage.
Yeah. Wait, there was something else it just came to mind when I was looking through that. Grammys and oh, listen to this. Jenny already sent you the text about
What
it. In like 1984 or something like that,
was
they
that?
had a Grammy that was like best black artist.
Like black single, I think.
Something like that. It was specific. And the Beach Boys announced the winner and it was
You were
Prince.
like, what in the Beach Boys? Racist.
What are the racist Beach Boys? I'm not saying the Beach Boys are racist, but they were there, and this was super racist.
Could you imagine someone was like, we need to make sure more black people are represented. It's a Grammys. They're like, we'll just give them a category.
Yeah,
So we don't have to worry about them in other things.
no, I mean, is that what that meant? That uh, that so like Purple Rain or whatever that was couldn't be in competition with like the Unforgettable Fire
I don't know.
because that's just oh my god, I was absolutely in shock.
I want to look up when this category started
And
and
how
like
long it
what,
lasted because
because there should just be best single
it shouldn't be as segregated.
or every other category should say best white album, best white.
Exactly.
It's like calling someone like a female doctor or doctor,
Right.
but worse.
Right.
Are you a
I,
doctor or black doctor? And
I,
they're those black jobs.
I could not believe when I saw that. I had to watch it like a couple times too to process what was happening before I sent it to you. And then after I sent it to you, I think I watched it again.
And Prince wins and he comes up and gets it and just walks right back to
It's
his
like,
seat, which
well,
he might have done anyway,
yeah.
but also like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah. Oh my God. We've seen a lot of shit in our lifetime.
Yeah, blacks.
Really? What in the racist Beach Boys?
Um,
While we're here, though, I'm trying to think of a title, and I always feel like we should come up with it while we're recording, and I never think about it.
I know, but then like, whenever I'm like, what's the name of this app? You're like, boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, I know.
It's like you remember everything we talked about. And I'm like, I
I
just
don't
edited it
know,
and I
but
don't even know what we talked about.
sometimes I have to ask you what we talked about,
Right.
and you give me a sentence, and then I come up with it.
Sometimes I'm like actively editing it at that moment. So I just start I'm like lemons, mug farts. I don't know. Well, we talked about the Grammys.
Grammys, we talked
Best Black Podcast. Just kidding. That wasn't even funny.
Sharon Stone.
The Lincoln Memorial. Joyful stories we told the pink Cybertruck.
Nostalgia. Yes.
And the lady who you only knows Jim.
Yes.
And um the lady I helped with the meat bags at the grocery store.
I don't know. I'll come up with something.
I don't know. Nostalgia and joy. I feel like you'll have something creative with that.
Wait, you said nostalgia is a bitch.
Nostalgia is a bitch,
That's what it's going to be.
especially when it makes you like John Mayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like the Lincoln Memorial.
Oh yeah, and it makes you sad and cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, nostalgia's a bitch.
I got a new sweater.
I noticed the thing up there.
And
So it's like my garden tart sweatshirt was dirty.
and full disclosure,
What?
you gotta see. I'm not a rich person.
What?
I cannot afford to get things tailored, but these sleeves go like down to my knees. I don't know who the heck they thought was gonna wear this, but
I mean, you could roll them up and show the lining underneath.
I know.
You're also not like going to the White House.
No, I'm not going to the White House. Definitely not.
And you would, if that was your White House outfit, you would get it.
Tailored.
Oh
I
man,
disclosure, I don't want to be a hypocrite.
it's fair.
But
Okay.
it came
Well,
from China and it was like $20.
Well, next week
Yeah.
it'll be $40. I was at the
Good luck,
grocery store
everyone.
today, and there was no, like, the big refrigerator that has like all the shredded cheese and sliced cheese, and there was like almost 0% sliced cheese. And it was Sunday afternoon, and I'm like, do we already not have cheese? No, I'm sure.
So one time I
Every
went,
brand was gone.
it's weird. One time I went to an Italian restaurant on a Friday night, early, like happy hour on a Friday night.
Yeah.
I ordered Prosecco, and they're like, we're out. And I'm like, man, you guys are going to have a long weekend.
That is rough.
That's your only job.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's
Right.
kind of like sliced cheese. Like, why are you still in business if you don't have sliced cheese?
They have like
So
they have all the shredded cheese and the cheese sticks and the cheese blocks. Every brand, there was one brand, and it was the store brand of the store I was at, had a few, but there was no Sargentos. There was no Kraft. There was no any of the other ones. I'm just going to blame it on Trump.
it's taking our cheese away. And our rate.
I don't like congestion.
Right. Good luck, everyone. Find your joy.
Find your joy, and call and email all the senators. Today I emailed a list of like 10 senators who might be able to vote against things. Like, they're not even in my state, and I'm like, I'm just begging you.
Well, I mean, I think that something that we all need to be more considerate about in our day-to-day life is just half the country is going through exactly what you're going through. And just be kind, because
Or else stress the fuck out.
I mean, there are so many people that are going to lose their jobs, that are going to lose their insurance, that are going to lose everything, their livelihood, their health care. I mean, everything.
Yeah.
So, like, if someone's mean to you in the grocery store, just shrug it off.
Right.
Because you don't know what they're going through.
They're probably in a mood.
Yeah.
They should be in. No reason to escalate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go home and call a senator.
Yeah.
Feel better.
Tune in next week for the next episode of The Fall of Democracy. Dun, dun, dun.
What kind of shit show are we going to live in next week? Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's been like 10 days.
Madness.
Elon has all our social security numbers now, so everything's fine.
Well, I don't have any money, so I mean, you can just take my liberties and
Yeah.
my credit score. I don't care.
On that note, good night, y'all.
Good night. We'll be back next week with more YouTube-ish content.
In the meantime, keep chatting with us on social media at _Garden Tarts.
Sign up for our newsletter at thegardentarts.com and share with your YouTube friends.
You can support us on Patreon, buy me a coffee, and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts.
Kissing Lips and Breaking Hearts, a YouTube podcast with the Garden Tarts, is created, produced, and edited by us, the Garden Tarts.
Intro and outro music by December.
See you next week.